Welcome to the Bedford Area Chamber of Commerce Chamber Vibes, where we have Wendy Witt here today to talk to us about her new business venture. But Wendy has also been a real estate agent. She was born and raised in Bedford County, Virginia, and she's familiar with all of Bedford County, the surrounding areas, and she's a listing agent, and she enjoys the great outdoors too. So she can help you understand and appreciate the areas that we serve, including the lake and the mountains, all of what we have to offer here in Bedford County. And she is the knowledgeable one to go to for any of your real estate needs. She's been selling since 2007 in Bedford for Franklin, Botetourt, Roanoke, Campbell, and Amherst counties. And from all of her travels throughout the country and Europe, she can't imagine a better place to live and the beautiful, affordable Bedford area. So if you're considering this area, give her a call today and she will help you find your dream home. So Wendy's also just begun her new business venture, and we're going to talk about that today, called ElectricCo. It's still in the initial phases, but we want to get to know Wendy Witt. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I want to get right to it to find out about you, a little bit more about you, because you're so involved in the community. You know so much about the area, and you have the heartbeat of what our town needs. And I'm so thrilled. It's like everything you do and touch, it turns to gold. So I just like to be around you and glean from you. But what is your favorite thing to do outside of work? What is a hobby or a sport that you like?
A couple of my very favorite things to do is pottery. I have a pottery studio at my house, and I also very much enjoy photography. So just playing around with my phone. I also have a nice digital camera I play with, but and gardening. So if my hands are dirty or if I'm, creating images with a camera, I'm happy.
And that feeds right into the art studio that you're going to be creating and really creating this environment that's going to be so welcoming for the entire community. I'm excited about it. I know other people are. So through your career path, I know it's had its challenges, and you've excelled, of course, like I said, at everything you do. You just have that art ability. But how have you done it? What are your mentors, or who are your mentors, I should say?
I've had a lot of mentors throughout my life. I've had some great supervisors. One of my first jobs outside of college was a telecommunications company, and they were super heavy Stephen Covey. So you do have like this, come at you, very uplifting, motivational, quotes in your face. You've got your daily calendar that's going to tell you something awesome to do every day. So you kind of thrive on just having the right mindset is like super important. And I do have to give some kudos to a former company that I was with. Gary Keller, and his training is amazing. They're very good about time blocking your day, knowing when you have your energy, when to eat the frog, like when to get the hard parts over with, and, scheduling based on what your, prospecting needs to be and how you're going to handle your day. And I think that's very important for your productivity and your challenges. But so
how did you, and I love that. I certainly want to be around you even more, but to glean that. And so how did you decide to go into this new business venture?
It kind of came as just kind of daydreaming about this property and all the cool things it could be. And my partner, Bill, and I started talking about it. And number one, like I've really kind of been collecting the data for the last 14 years from people who are moving to Bedford, coming to Bedford, things that they are looking for, wish that was here, are moving because it's not, coming here because it is, or wouldn't this be great? I also know, like, when I travel, exactly what I'm looking for, what are my go-to types of activities that I'm looking for in new places. And so we're kind of creating that. Like, I like to go to art galleries. I love to eat.
So you're a foodie too. Awesome.
I love food. And, just being able to see like handcrafted goods, a home and garden market. So if, my pastimes are photography or pottery or, gardening, a home and garden market is right up my alley. So it'd be great to just bring those vendors into one spot and enjoy it.
So I love having the inside scoop of your new business journey and all that you've envisioned for the future of ElectricCo. And I think you have really expressed that well, that, you're going to encompass all of those things that feed your spirit and, feed your art side and just transfer that to others. And that is so exciting for Bedford. And that's going to give us such a place to go to for our community where you can just go and meet someone and chat over some art and maybe have some food as well. Right?
Absolutely. We're definitely building this, really hoping that there's plenty you can do under one roof. I mean, come spend the day, So the space that we're wanting to create, along with other walkable businesses around us are really going to help with our local economy, the tourism, and really helping build the art community that's already here. Just help improve that, hopefully add some employment. We've got a lot of goals that we want to achieve with this, and first and foremost, just being a big help to the community.
You definitely will be. And so, as you're cultivating this and, really have great ideas, what's been the biggest surprise that you've had in this business journey?
The biggest surprise so far, which I'm thinking we're going to come across bigger surprises because we're so new in the journey, but it's basically been our demo. We have knocked down a lot of walls in the space and opened it up, and I'm super happy about that because it has just changed the dynamic of the building. And, we have knocked down sheetrock, pulled down insulation, have literally found like beautiful old windows in the walls that have been covered up. So we have exposed a ton of brick that have like the original paint colors from when it was the electric company. So fun fact, the original electric for the town of Bedford was generated in this building. And if you take a look at the building, there's still these tubes coming out of the building where that's where they sent the electricity out. So because we have found some really cool artifacts in the building regarding the electric company and the history of that, we are planning on doing a small like museum to the production of electricity in town. And, just the beauty and the history of the space that's been so long ignored has been super invigorating. So we're going to play that up quite a bit.
How fabulous is that? And just to really restore such history in our town and make it into something so fabulous. So how do you continue to stay on top in your industry and, continue to really shine?
Well, thank you for the compliment. That would definitely have a lot to do with delegation.
It's a good thing, right?
Delegation. So, just finding the right people. I for several years, probably for 6 to 8 years, have been a listing agent only. Have buyer agents that handle the buyer side of my business. So we specialize in those fields. I also employ an administrative assistant as well as a transaction coordinator. So all of that is administrative help. Really helps the entire team have a balanced life. So in order to get into a new endeavor, my life is a little imbalanced while maintaining my original industry of real estate. And so it's a big push in order to get ElectricCo up and running. And then I think it'll be smooth sailing again.
It definitely will be, but you're doing a fabulous job. And so what are some fun things that you're finding during your research? I know you mentioned some windows and
so research, the windows came as complete surprises. So there's lots of surprises. But as far as the research for this business, like I said, for the marketplace, I mean, that's like shopping. What do I like to shop? What do I like to see? The home and garden type thing. So a lot of that is just kind of searching social media for like things, inviting people to take a look at this. This is what we have planning. Are you interested? Looking for employees, looking for makers, looking for artists. As far as the restaurant goes, I put myself through college in front of the house restaurant, from like dive bars in Richmond to like, pre-fee theater dinners in Virginia Museum of Fine Arts, which is where I got all of my air conditioning in college. So I had plenty of like art gazing, just trying to stay cool in the Richmond summers when I was in college. So in addition to that, as far as the art gallery piece of the space goes, I have been reading a lot. And fun thing about that is, back when the pandemic started and things started slowing down, I actually just started reading this book called, I was listening to this book called 9th Street Women while I was playing in my pottery studio. And it's a book about women breaking into the art scene, particularly contemporary arts, America trying to break away from Europe, as Europe was known as, the premier art scene. So it was a lot of uphill battles there. And so it was very interesting. And then once we started looking at this as a business plan, I started getting into more art gallery books. And I'm currently reading this book, Boom, which is about big art dealers and the rise of contemporary art. And a fun thing that I learned about that, there's this large art dealer, his name is Leo Gagosian. And before he became an art dealer, he literally was parking cars. So running an art gallery is just as much about passion as it is about education and about networking and getting to know your client and your product.
And wow, what great research that you're doing. And that's really going to help, it to be smooth and to really be welcoming to the community, and kind of go the extra mile on that for people, what their expectations might be when they come in. I think they're going to be quite wowed, to put it lightly.
Well, thank you.
And I'm super excited about it. So what keeps you up at night, and how do you stay looking so fabulous? It's really bad for the rest of us. But anyway, share your secrets.
Oh, you're very kind. The biggest thing that keeps me up at night is definitely getting the right people on the bus for this project. Just searching, making sure, that they are as passionate about this as we are, because we're super excited about it. Like, we're actually like every day blown away about how we get more and more excited every day, even when we're in the brunt of demo and there's dust in our nose and there's, we're dirty and stinky and ugly, and it's like, but we're so excited. So it's like all good, so we're looking for that enthusiasm from makers, from the artists. We really want just very happy people in the building with us. So we really want to create a very inviting environment.
Well, and that's going to really showcase everything. It's going to create that environment, as you say, when you can touch people's senses. They used to say if it was all 5 senses, then you have made that experience so memorable, and people will want to come back. And so I'm sure that will be the environment that's created in your studio. And truly, I know you're going to be seeking after the best and the brightest, and you certainly will make such a huge impact, as you already have in our community. We're blessed to have you, and we look forward to great things to come. And this will be open, you think, in the spring, summer?
We're shooting very optimistically for April-May timeframe, particularly the marketplace in the lower level, with the bistro and the gallery to follow directly behind.
Well, I may be your first customer. I certainly hope that I am, and we'll look forward to seeing you and your team that you're bringing along for this great vision that you are going to make happen very shortly. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. Thanks for having me.